Yes, sir. What's up, good people? It's your boy, D-Boy Henry Heck, back at it again. And boys and girls, girls and boys, it has been released. It is official. GTA 6 will launch at a base price of $80. I was about to say 60. I'm tripping. $80. Ultimate $100. Now, what we've seen across the timeline is a lot of people running around saying how they'll gladly pay 80, how they're, buying the $100 edition, attempting to flex on the brokies, as it were. And to be honest, I thought it was going to be 70. A lot of people kind of held fast on that idea of it being 70. It was brought to my attention how the standard version does come with a GTA club or whatever the monthly thing is, as far as that's concerned, which, okay, that would, make up for or make it worth the extra monies if an individual is into that kind of thing. But if you're just an individual who plays the single player campaign and that's it, or just, lives inside of the single player content, that really won't do you any good, in my opinion. Not to mention, multiplayer ain't even dropping you. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to have multiplayer at launch as far as we know. I'm sure they would have let the people know if that were the case. And I think people kind of already expected that it wouldn't, since last time it didn't. There's a lot of criticisms of the price point. There's a lot of criticisms of the contents inside of the Ultimate Edition, as far as certain shops being locked behind that edition, even though usually when you do buy the more higher priced version, you do get extra things. Not that you are locked out of certain things, you get extra things to validate your purchase. So what they're choosing to do, and also not actually having a disc, some people are saying it is because they want to prevent leaks. But if a game gonna sell, it's gonna sell. Like, the story leaking ain't stopping no show for a lot of games. Quite a few high priority games have had their stories leaked, and people still ran out and purchased those in droves. One example is the Spider-Man 2. Another example is the Last of Us 2. Sony games, Sony first party games, big budget games, and people still went out and supported those in droves. So I don't believe that is the reasoning behind it. There's a more sinister reason behind this that was brought up. Shout out to the big homie Will 777 and the JP, who stays on top of this physical. You know what I mean? He is a crusader, as it were, in regards to this, and I'm with it, even though I'm not a physical individual at this point in time. Maybe one day I will, circle back, but due to the PlayStation Portal and cloud streaming, I've not made physical a priority, and maybe that will come back and bite me in the ass. Who knows? We shall see. There have been instances where he's been proven to be right about them reaching inside of your library and just taking games off. There's plenty of examples. I've been affected to a small degree, not necessarily. Well, yes, I did have games taken, but I was also reimbursed full price for those games, and they were games that, your multiplayer live service, so a game that lives online. But let's get off into this post right here by GTA 6 Countdown. This is one of those video game fan channels that's been really popular over the last year or so, more notably by Charlie Intel, who was a Call of Duty enthusiast channel. And once Call of Duty fell away, he went off to make these styles of channels for other popular games as a service games. We see similar channels for The Division, Warframe, Valorant, Siege, any manner of games as a service that, has a huge following and is doing quite well across platforms. But this right here is one for GTA 6. All right, the criticisms read as follows. Standard edition is 80 instead of 70, which will encourage the industry to raise prices and follow suit. Now, it has been brought up by the big homie again, Naughty Dog, into Galactic. Now, in my opinion, that would be extremely foolish of them, seeing all the criticism the game is already, facing. So if they were to do that, good luck. You know, a lot of people have been soured over Naughty Dog as a studio. Vehicle shops, vehicle mod shops, a hair salon, a tattoo shop, and a clothing store being locked behind the Ultimate Edition. Thankfully, there is an upgrade you can buy separately anytime. Now, this is what I was speaking to about, you know, certain things that you usually get, which are extra when you do get the higher tier. These are things that would be usually seen as something available to everyone, you know what I'm saying, off the standard. But you have to pay for the more expensive version in order to have access to these. A free month of GTA Plus subscription is included as a pre-order bonus, but it will auto renew if you don't cancel yourself. So they're automatically throwing you into that feed. And, you know, again, these companies are always trying to grow their subscription services. We see a lot of these companies producing one. You know, Ubisoft has one, Fortnite has one. And, you know, for people who play just that and engage in only that ecosystem, it's a benefit. But like I say, if you're just engaging in this in a single player, from a single player perspective, I'm not sure if you really benefit at all. And then no disc in the physical copy, and it's just a download code. This is done to prevent any leaks prior to release, and this will probably come later. Now, this is a guess. We don't know for sure. This is what I was saying about, you know, they're trying to prevent leaks and this, that, and the third, and you want to prevent leaks because they would hurt sales potentially. But when it's a game this huge, a game this massive, people are not gonna not buy GTA 6 just because of store leaks. Like, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Like I was having a conversation, and if anything will hurt the actual sales of this game, it would be streaming the game. You know, we've seen an influx of individuals who are out here saying that watching the game counts as playing the game. Out here saying that people enjoy watching more than they actually enjoy playing. You know, so in my opinion, a bigger adversary of game sales would be streamers, yet they're not doing anything to, you know, stop them or prevent them. You know, there's not you can't stream the game for 24. It's not anything like that. So that's mainly why I say this reasoning about leaks is bullshit. It's, in my opinion, you know. And this game been pretty controversial so far. You know, you got a lot of people on the physical side of, you got even stores not even selling, retailers not gonna sell it, you know, because there is no game to be sold inside. You know what I'm saying? It's just a coupon code. You know what I'm saying? It's a Little Caesars coupon with a GTA 6 download code on it, and you get in the case. You know, people are saying, you know, they just got it on the shelf. They'll just put the case on the shelf, and that's where it be. And when it comes to things like that, it's just, I feel like it's just my opinion. Do what you want to. It's your money. I think there are cooler things to display than just a box. If when it comes to you just wanting to display the box, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a cope, in my opinion, because, like I said, you can get posters, you can get there will probably be the 3D printing studios will probably produce the characters for you to display. It's going to be a whole bunch of stuff you can get to display if you just want something to display. You know, I imagine having a physical game on display would be, because it's like when you buy the collector's editions, right? And I'm with the people who are upset that those don't come with discs. People who are more apt to collect physical things would be the ones buying this. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to spend the extra dollar to give them a disc is crazy to me, especially since you already got them printed out anyway. You know what I'm saying? Are they printing different amount of cases to discs, or are they printing discs to, like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand why the cases don't come with games. If you spending a few cents to print the case, you might as well spend the other few cents to print the disc. And I might be speaking well out of turn when it comes to that, because I don't fucking know. I'm just saying, as an outsider looking, it don't make fucking sense to me. You know, and feel free to correct me down inside of the comments if this is a situation where I just don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I need to shut up and stay in my lane, etc. But, you know, And here's some information for as the salon, a hair salon, a tattoo shop, a clothing store, and a mod shop locked behind the GTA 6 Ultimate Edition. Rockstar, please. Rockstar don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I think another thing too recently, especially when it comes to Valve, one of the, the saviors of gaming, how they produced the Steam box, and we seen the leader of Team Valve go out here and spend this 70 million on this mansion. We see this yacht here. These people don't give a fuck. They don't care. They do not care. When they got a product that sells, when they have a platform that's thriving, and that money is coming in and rolling in, it get to a point where they probably like, hey, if you buy it or don't buy it. And they say that, and that comes from an attitude of they know people gonna buy it. They know people gonna support it. You know, even especially if you're a YouTuber, a lot of the times, even if it's something you don't agree with, you gonna wind up falling in line just because you want the views when it comes to presenting a thing. You know, I believe that there is more power in missing out than it is in, just standing up and talking about it and still participating anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got an individual who is willing to talk about it and also at the same time miss out, that's more powerful to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you see a lot of people, especially with the Pokemon Sword and Shield thing, people were supposed to be boycotting left and right, and you seen a lot of creators had a ton of shit to say, but what they asked was day one on that fucking game, streaming, laughing, joking, and having a grand old time. You know what I'm saying? Having a grand old time. I remember it like it was yesterday, bro. That shit turned out to break. That damn Sword and Shield came out. That shit broke records. Broke records. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times this boycotting stuff, it's just empty. It's just talking. It's just talking on the net. Because when it's actually time to show up and let people know, hey, I'm not just talking about this. I'm also standing behind what I'm saying, and it might not mean much to a lot of people, but some people do see that, and above all else, they respect it. They respect it. You know what I'm saying? That's the individual who said they was against this, they was against that, and when it was time, they meant it. They meant it. Too often we see content creators speak about like recently, all these people talking about, oh, the average Joe is being priced out. Games are too expensive. Bro, you seen how these people act when games popped off at $70. You seen how they act. And then now a lot of these same people, oh, I'm buying the $100 version. Oh, I'm getting the $100 version. Oh, when it comes to GTA 6, excuses. Because the fact of the matter was, you didn't believe in any of that anyway. You was just joining in. You was joining in because it was the popular thing to do, and whatever get the likes and the interactions and views, that's where you stand. And that's cool. That's cool because at the end of the day, it shows the people, it shows the fans, it shows the followers, it shows the subscribers where you stand as an individual. It shows them. Everybody got a price, and your price is GTA Goddamn 6. That's all I got for you right now. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about the pricing structure. Let me know how you feel about the no physical down inside the comments. Again, this is not my wheelhouse. I refer you all to the big homie Will 777JP. He's been doing lunchtime streams. He did one recently regarding this whole situation, so you can head on over there, watch that back, participate down inside of the comments, and if you make your voice be heard, like real, because this is the game to do it. This is the game to do it. A lot of people are going to get the big head behind Rockstar doing it and being successful. Because let's be realistic. They are going to be successful. Ain't nothing going to stop. I don't know how they did it, but they were able to carve themselves out a lane as Rockstar is gaming culture. I'll just say it. I call spade spade. It is what it is. As far as producing a game of the generation, they've done it. They produce a game of generations. You see what I'm saying? And which is partially why I think that this will that this whole game download code thing is what it is. They seen all this money that they could have been making over the course of the last 2 generations, and they didn't get none. So like, hold the fuck up. And if they do release a physical, I don't see it happening no time soon. It's gonna be at least a year. At least a year, in my opinion. I could be wrong. It could be 6 months, it could be 8 months or whatever. Or it could even be longer. Just depending. I don't believe they care about the backlash that they get. I really don't. Because I don't see the pre-order slowing down. If the pre-orders were to hit a standstill, okay, they might readjust some things, and we might get those physical sooner. Because it's not like they can afford it. They can't afford it. I mean, they can 100% afford it. You know. But again, drop a like, drop a comment, catch you outside the next one. I'm gone.